Welcome back to Mindset Rebuilt for another deep dive into the stuff that matters. Helps us break free from mental traps and live better lives. Today, we're going to be talking about the victim mentality, and I have with me an expert on this, on recognizing and overcoming these limiting mindsets. It's great to have you here, Rebecca.
It's great to be here.
So you ready to ditch the fluff?
Yes. Let's ditch the fluff because mindset makeovers, need straight talk and smart strategies to reboot your mind.
Exactly.
Reboot your mind.
And speaking of mental traps, we're tackling a big one today. The victim mentality. Now, you might be thinking, hey, I'm no victim.
Right.
But hold on. We're not talking about some woe is me persona. This is way more subtle.
Way more subtle. Yeah, it's a sneaky way of thinking that can creep into anyone's life without them even realizing it.
Right.
It's that underlying belief that life is happening to me instead of life is happening for me.
Okay, so let's unpack this. What does victim mentality sound like? What are some real-world examples? I know Warren, who wrote the truth bombs. He calls them truth bombs. So let's see what explodes.
Yeah, let's see what explodes. Think about phrases like, if only things were different, I could be doing so much more, or I would have achieved more if my family had supported me. It's that constant focus on external factors holding you back.
So it's like blaming circumstances or other people instead of owning your own choices,
Yeah.
your own actions.
Yeah.
I bet we've all fallen into this trap at some point.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's human nature. It can feel safer to shift blame away from ourselves and avoid discomfort.
Right.
But the real problem is that it comes at a cost.
Ooh.
You end up giving away your power and limiting your own growth.
So it's choosing comfortable misery over the potential for something better. What's really going on with this comfortable misery? Why do we cling to it even when we know it's holding us back?
It's the paradox, isn't it? It feels safer to blame external factors and just hold on to that resentment. If you're the victim, you don't have to take any risks or face the possibility of failure. You can stay stuck and tell yourself you're right.
Right.
About how unfair life is. There's a weird comfort in that,
Right.
even if it's ultimately holding you back.
That makes sense. So we've all heard that analogy about the two bags.
Yeah.
One filled with things you can control, the other with things you can't. Victim mentality keeps us staring into the wrong bag.
Keeps us staring into the wrong bag, yeah.
What are we missing when we do that?
You're exactly right. Victim mentality keeps us focused on all the things we can't control, and we totally lose sight of the things we can. It's like we're giving away our power to change and make things better. We trade our power for a sense of righteousness. I'm right to feel this way because of what happened to me.
Yeah.
But that righteousness doesn't get us anywhere.
This isn't about self-blame, is it? It's more about taking responsibility for our response to a situation, not necessarily the situation itself. How can we cultivate a sense of agency, especially when faced with really tough challenges?
You nailed it. It's not about blaming yourself. It's about shifting your focus from what you can't control to what you can.
Okay.
You may not be able to control a job loss, for example, but you can control how you react to it, how you manage your finances, and how you use that experience to learn and grow.
So this concept of responsibility is so powerful because it means that even in situations we can't control, we always have the power to choose our attitude and our actions.
Yes, and that's where true empowerment lies. It's about recognizing that you always have a choice in how you respond, even when life throws you a curveball.
So how do we make that shift? Recognizing the problem is one thing, but how do we break free from victim mentality and move toward a more empowered mindset?
The first step is awareness. Start paying attention to your thoughts when you hear yourself saying things like, if only, or I can't because.
Yeah,
Those are big red flags.
those are our truth bombs exploding.
Yeah, exactly.
This thought detective analogy is intriguing. How can we become more aware of these subtle thought patterns without getting bogged down in self-criticism?
That's a great question. It's about being curious about your thoughts, not judgmental. Notice them, acknowledge them, and then ask yourself, is this thought helpful? Is it moving me forward? If not, gently let it go.
Okay, so we're noticing those negative thought patterns and checking if they're really true. What's next in reclaiming our power?
The next step is to challenge those thoughts. Ask yourself if they're really true or if they're just limiting stories you've been telling yourself. Maybe they were true at one point, but are they still true now?
It's like we're rewriting the script, flipping the narrative from I'm a victim of circumstance to I'm the author of my own story.
Exactly. And you have the power to choose what happens next in your story. It all starts with taking action. It doesn't have to be anything major. The point is to prove to yourself that you do have control over some aspects of your life.
So action is the antidote to victim mentality. What are some examples of those small the powerful actions listeners can take today to shift their thinking.
Absolutely. Even small actions can have a ripple effect on your mindset. It could be committing to a daily walk, starting a gratitude journal, or even just ending your workday mindfully instead of letting stress spill over into your evening.
I love that ending the workday mindfully is such a small tweak, but it could have a huge impact on your overall well-being. What are some other things that come to mind?
Yeah, it really can be anything. As long as it's something you can control and that moves you in a positive direction. Start small. Maybe you commit to making your bed every morning
Hmm.
or taking a few minutes each day to just breathe and be present. It doesn't matter what it is as long as it helps you to feel more in control of your life.
So it's about building momentum with those small wins.
Exactly. Each small victory reinforces your sense of agency and builds your confidence to tackle bigger challenges. As you start to see yourself as someone who takes action and creates change, your entire mindset begins to shift.
I'm curious, what are some common roadblocks people encounter when they're trying to ditch the victim mentality? And how can we navigate those challenges with self-compassion?
One of the biggest roadblocks is fear.
Oh, yeah.
Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. It's easy to get stuck in that fear and let it paralyze you.
Right.
That's where self-compassion comes in. It's about being kind to yourself, recognizing that you're doing the best you can, and understanding that setbacks are a normal part of the process.
It's not about being perfect. It's about progress. And it sounds like having a supportive community can make a big difference.
Absolutely. One of the most powerful things you can do is surround yourself with people who are growth-minded, supportive, and will challenge you in a positive way, people who will celebrate your wins with you and help you to get back up when you fall.
So it's about the power of accountability, having those cheerleaders in your corner to keep you moving forward.
Exactly. The people we spend time with have a huge influence on our thoughts and behaviors. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who believe in you and will hold you accountable to your goals.
It's amazing how sneaky that victim mentality can be, even for those of us who think we're positive people.
Right.
But what's hopeful is this idea that we can reclaim our sense of agency and actually choose how we respond to life's challenges.
Yes, it's about shifting from passivity to action, from feeling like life is happening to you to feeling like life is happening for you.
I love that it's about recognizing that even amidst challenges and setbacks, there's always an opportunity for growth and learning. Before we go, I want to leave you with a challenge that extends beyond our conversation today. What's one small step you can take today to shift from feeling like life is happening to you to life is happening for you? What will you choose to take control of?
That's a powerful question and one we should all be asking ourselves regularly. Remember, it's not about making huge changes overnight. It's about those small, consistent actions that build momentum and lead to lasting transformation.
If you're looking for more insights and strategies to help you ditch those limiting beliefs and create a life you truly love, be sure to subscribe to Mindset Rebuild at mindsetrebuild.substack.com.
Until next time, keep those mindsets sharp and remember you have the power to create the life you desire.
Thanks for joining us on Mindset Rebuild.